The picture you see is the ancient grist mill, Shelter Island. Here it is on Manwaring Road. Sits up on the top of the hill. Been here since I was in, they moved it when I was in about the, let's see, 4th grade, and that would be about 1927. So let's go up and look at the bronze plaque, see what it says. Come on. So here's the bronze plaque. Notice there's one bolt gone where the thieves tried to steal it, because bronze plaque are a great item to steal for thieves. So what we need to have is a picture of it so we'll know what it said in case somebody does steal it. This mill was built at Southold in 1795, moved to Shelter Island in 1842. Now, this was moved, memory serves me right, there was a Mr. Smith that had it. And then Mr. Smith sold it to the Horsford estate, and this was preserved and relocated by Lillian Horsford Farlow and Cornelia C.F. Horsford. And of course now they moved it from by the school to this place, in the middle 1920s. That was old Mr. Congdon, Wesley Congdon, with his horses. Took him about 3 days to do it. Now it's restored in 1952 by Margaret O.F. Proctor in memory of her mother, Margaret Olivia Slocum Flint, 1870-1946, and of her 6th and 5th great-grandfathers, Nathaniel Sylvester, 1610 to 1680, the original grantee of Shelter Island, and the Huguenot Benjamin Lahamadou of Southold, who in 1694 married Nathaniel's daughter, Patience. Well, so much for the schismatics, but we want one more thing. Now let's get a look at the foundation, see where they began. And there's a rock on each corner. Mill is 8-sided. Now, this is Ken Martinson, of how big the base is, right on the corner of the base. So that shows it to be 9 feet and 1 inch on the very outside of the base. And tape wouldn't stand straight up, so you can't tell, but we know it's 26 feet to the turret. You can see the turret. Now the entire turret top revolves. Isn't that interesting? The entire roof revolves, and this was, of course, in order to face the main fan into the wind. One rock after the other. Now this is the east door, and this is where the flower, the white flower, comes out. Walk up close, Mildred, and look inside. Now, this is the sifter that sifts the whole wheat flour into white flour and bran middlings. Mildred, can you see the little chute where the flour comes from upstairs? And right down that chute and into this sifter, which, when it has the right cloth on it and it spins, comes down and falls into this cage, which has cloth all the way around it. And the cloth is a special cloth that will sift out the white flour from the bran and the mid. We have the white flour on the first end, the bran and the middlings on the far end. And bran and middlings in that day was considered pig food, but bran is great. This turns, which the mill is turned by the power of the mill, and it has cloth on it. That is the sifter that sifts the white flour out at the beginning, and then the next coarse weave of flour sifts out the bran and the middlings, and they take that home for food for the pigs. Now, so that the flour will keep going along until it runs through the sifter, and it goes down in a cage underneath. And after it's caught there, before it goes into this trough, we have a sliding door that lets the flour, or this end would be bran and middlings, would fall down into this trough. And then underneath this trough here, a little trap door where they can scoop it in, and it'll go into our pails, buckets, or bags, or what have you. What we'll do is go out and look at the face of the mill where the fan would be if it were in place. But right now, the fans are over in the barn, and as for the sails, I don't know. And there's one more. The main spindle is decayed and gone. So let's go see the door where the fan normally comes out. That will be viewed from the outside. Little white door on the top. That's where the spindle for the fan comes out. The fan, when it's in place, is 56 feet in diameter. And in order to make that fan face into the wind, the entire turret moves. Now, I'll shut it off a moment till I go inside, and I'll start spinning the turret. Turret moved. Now, Mildred, come over by the mill and watch how I do that. This is a capstan, and you have to revolve it 48 times in order to make the turret go around once. So, this is how it works. I turned it there. You had a picture of these gears up here. Now let's go up to the third floor and work our way down and learn how these things go best we can. Post axle that turns the turret. Now I have to make 4 turns around on the bottom to make 1 turn here. So I'll go down and turn it, and you watch how slowly this revolves.
We're on the second floor now.
We're on the second floor. Now we're on the third floor, and And this axle post here, when I turn the capstan 4 turns, moves this axle post 1 turn, which means that the 8 teeth on the top of the secondary capstan post will make 8 notches or 8 teeth of turn on the turret. Now if you wait a moment, I'll go down and turn another 4 turns, and you can watch how that works.
Yeah.
Here we go. Saw how those gears work in its entirety, and this is the beginning of the many other gears. This is the back end, the tail end of the main shaft that holds the fans. Right at the moment this main shaft is broken off and the fans are not there. But nevertheless we'll try to explain how it's geared. The main fan is fastened to this timber, and this timber is fastened to this huge gear wheel. Can you get a picture of those gear teeth, and all wooden teeth?
Mm-hmm.
And as those teeth spin around, they mate with these bars in this cage, and they spin this shaft. So this shaft here, you got to look down to see the shaft and the gears. I think we'll get a better picture from the other side. There's more light. As these teeth mate with these bars and spin this wheel is fast onto this large shaft, and this shaft revolves. And as it revolves, it has a cage on here with these little pegs. Now, I'll get on the other side and show you how it works. This is the gear shifter right here. Oh, I don't think she can quite get that. You got to move around a little. This shaft is fastened there. But to take it out of gear, you simply lift that up, put that in there, and then this is free spinning. Now, this will spin any time that's in gear. And right now, it's in gear, and when this shaft turns, of course, it spins. And if Mildred could back up over there, you can get what it does. This spinning shaft here, when it spins, which I will put it out of gear so I can spin it freehand, when this spins, it moves this pulley. You see this pulley? And this pulley has an endless rope belt. And this endless rope belt goes all the way down, and that is what moves the cage that has the flour sifter. We saw the flour sifter at the beginning of the picture. And that is the mechanism that makes it go. Now this that she's getting is the main drive wheel that's fastened to the main spindle shaft, which is the main spindle shaft. Now this drive wheel is fast to the shaft, which at present is rotted off. You see how it's decayed. Maybe someday they'll get a new shaft, and we want people, whoever does it, to know that the type of wood to use for this main shaft is longleaf southern yellow pine. This one is made of Douglas fir, and it doesn't last very long. So this timber here is the brake on. You have to put the brake. Now this brake has to be put on in order to hold the fan steady in the wind, like when you're putting the sails on or when you're moving it a quarter turn. This entire arrangement, as it goes up there and over the top, down this side, and is the band of the brake. The interesting thing about this brake is that it is a self-energizing brake. And self-energizing brakes, according to mechanics magazines, if you can believe them, were invented in the 1920s. And here this person never read a mechanics magazine, but he made a self-energizing brake in the 1700s. Now, right now,